Hello and welcome to the latest FC Cymru, and we have a real treat in store for you in this episode. We're going to go down to Wrexham Museum to check out all their amazing football artefacts because they've got a grant of 2.5 million to become the National Football Museum of Wales. So, loads to discuss down there, loads to see me geek out to. And we're also going to be going across to the racecourse where they've got their own redevelopment project there, and we're going to tell you exactly why that will benefit the whole of Welsh football. We'll also be visiting Bellevue, a really special club doing fantastic things in the heart of the Wrexham community. Oh, I'll tell you what, stay tuned for that. But now, it's time for me to get off this hill down into the town. So here we are, Wrexham Museum, and an opportunity for me to geek out completely about Welsh football. Nick, thank you so much for inviting us and giving us the opportunity to be here today. Big plans at the museum over the next few years?
Yeah, that's right, Lawrence. So Wrexham Museum is a existing museum that's been in town for quite a while, but the plan is to redevelop it and to have a new football museum for the whole of Wales in the building as well. So really exciting plans, hoping to open in 2025.
Okay, a little way off, and we will talk more about that later. But as you can see, we've got a few of the artefacts here to start with. Well, first of all, take me through this incredible trophy. This is absolutely superb. I mean, they do not make ornamental trophies like this anymore, do they?
Yeah, it's pretty special. So this is called the Soames Cup. So it was donated as a junior trophy by a guy called Frederick Soames, who owned the Soames Brewery. So Wrexham's got quite a big brewing heritage. It's a really nice trophy, really good condition, and it's a great addition to the collection, really.
So, one of my favourite all-time Wales shirts, and this is from a proper Wrexham legend, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a classic shirt. So that's Joey Jones' shirt from the only game he scored a goal for Wales in the early 80s. So 4-4 draw in Yugoslavia. I think it was a tap-in, but I think he makes quite a lot of that goal, as you would. Your only goal for Wales, yeah. And it's a really cool design shirt, the kind of classic green and yellow away strip.
I'm just going to move this, and I have been given permission to touch it before anyone asks. So this is Wales against Austria at the racecourse ground. What's the sort of significance behind this?
Yeah, so the racecourse, as a lot of people know, was the main venue for Welsh matches for a long time. Had the first Wales match there in 1877. So this is a really nice sort of advertising board for a really big game in Welsh history. They beat Austria 1-0 in 1975 to qualify for the Euros the following year.
And Wrexham, the racecourse, it's the oldest international ground still staging matches, and it sort of holds that record, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So, 1877 was the first match played there. And I think possibly when it's redeveloped a bit more, they probably hope for some more in the future, I would think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, listen, we know that there's plenty more to see in the museum, so we'll be carrying on our tour here. But as we've been talking about the racecourse and its place in Welsh football history, which is absolutely huge, we talked about the redevelopment there, and there are big plans at the racecourse, so maybe we will be seeing full internationals there again soon.
Hi, my name's Tommy Couse, and as you can see, I'm here at the racecourse, the oldest international football stadium in the world. My father, for his sins, is an Everton fan. He tried to take me to Goodison Park as a youngster, but I was having none of it. My tide took me here, and ever since, I've been a massive Wrexham fan. I'll never forget my first experience in the Kop. It was absolutely amazing. Walked in, I think I was about 14, 15 years old, and the smell of the pies, the urine, absolutely everything. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to learn a little bit more now about what it means to the community here in Wrexham and for the fan base as a whole.
We moved from one part of Wrexham to across the road, and they used to open the Kop gates. In fact, I believe they still do. Last sort of 5-10 minutes, and as an intrigued 11-year-old, saw the lights, smelt the food, saw the fans, scored a last-minute winner to make it 4-3 against Blackpool at the time, like I say, and ever since I've been home and away, avid.
I think it was 1991. It was Wrexham versus Maidstone United. My mum took me, which is quite a rare thing. It's usually dads and lads, isn't it? So my mum took me on the Cop, and I just remember going in and going, Jesus, this is a cavernous place. How have I not been aware? I mean, you go past it when you're a kid and all that. You don't get a real sense of it, of how grand it is until you're inside it. So I went in, took my place in the middle of the Cop. I can't remember much of the match because I was too much in awe of what was going on around me. Just how vast it was, you know. I think just the whole environment sucked me in, really. The Cop has obviously laid dormant for well over a decade now. It's a sad sight to see, but you know, it's got a nice little sleeping bag on it for the time being until something comes from it.
I love the Cop. Like I said, that was what I ventured into as an 11-year-old, and you know, these guys want to take us places. So if we want to push on as a football club, it's absolutely necessary that it gets knocked down and redeveloped.
It's over 12 years now since we had the pleasure of standing on the Cop. But we'd like to think that hopefully they can redevelop it in the near future. Just how important is it to the local area, Wrexham, North Wales, and the community for these improvements to be made?
We've got the fans who are used to standing on the Cop as kids, as adults, when it was obviously open. For those to be able to go back in there, I think would be amazing. You know, I was one of those people that grew up standing on the Cop and absolutely loved it. There's such an atmosphere that in that Cop end that, you know, many of us have experienced, and I think it would be brilliant for other people to have those same experiences. So yeah, brilliant.
I'm feeling quite misty-eyed thinking back to the Cop days and stuff like that. I remember it myself. Absolutely amazing. With improvements to the ground here, we can expect to see probably more international games here at the racecourse.
You know, we've had a couple in recent times, haven't we? Certainly the women's one that was here not so long ago, and they were so well received. Can you imagine having four-sided ground back again? That means we can have those kind of games back. We absolutely love Cardiff, and being around Cardiff is what a wonderful city it is. But to have it on our doorstep, to have those games up here, I think will mean so much to the North Wales community that, you know, the more that we can have those games up here, the better. And yes, I'd love to have more Wales games up here. It'd be amazing.
There we go then, exciting times in this area of Wales and arguably the spiritual home of Welsh football. Well, we went to see what comes of the racecourse, but we've moved to a slightly separate area of the museum. And I've noticed this absolutely incredible cap here. Nick, there's a great little story that goes with that as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's quite a special cap. So when Wales played their first ever international outside the British Isles, they played France in 1933. And the cap is from the goal scorer that day, Tommy Griffiths, so quite special.
Yeah, fantastic. Amazing that they didn't play outside of the UK until 1933.
Yeah, that's right. They actually had a tour of Canada in 1929, but yeah, full international not till 1933.
Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. Now, as you might have noticed, Nick has got the very special white gloves on that only very important people in museums wear. And talk us through the medal you've got there, because it's quite a fascinating piece.
Sure, yeah. So this is a medal from the FA Amateur Cup, a competition which is known as the FAW Trophy, I think now. So this is an early winners medal from the early 1900s, won by a team called Wrexham Victoria, who don't actually exist now, but had a sort of 20-year period of being a team at the start of 900s.
And on the other side of that, it's got the...
Yeah, that's right. So it's a sort of like a Maltese cross design. It's got the Football Association of Wales and dragon, of course, on the front as well.
Of course, a dragon, of course. What else would it have on the front of it? And I think that's one of the most important things to remember in this area, that although you've got the racecourse and Wrexham Football Club is the kind of predominant professional club, there is a huge footballing community right across northeast Wales, and it's a proper hotbed of football. Well, we went to go and visit one of those clubs, Bellevue. They play at Bellevue Park, a short walk away from here, and they're doing very special things in the community.
We are Wales's first and award-winning league-registered multi-ethnic and inclusion-specific football club. So what we do is we provide league football opportunities to those who faced barriers getting into the sport, including people that are suffering from social poverty. That's basically what we do, is we take people that struggle to get into football and we say, you know, give it a go. If you can do it, you can do it. You can play here.
I originally played for Brickfields. I played for them for about 2-3 years, and then I came here after I grew out of the club, so I was too old for them. Really nerve-wracking first time I came here, but yeah, Sheep came up to me, spoke to me first thing, and then all the other players just really welcoming, acted like I'd been there for months, so I felt really welcomed. Everyone was really welcome here.
In the hospital, I work in the respiratory unit. So I was talking about football, and then somebody heard me and referred me to a colleague, who in turn referred me to Sheep. And then I contacted Sheep and then came over here. For me, it was like, just go and explore. You'll meet people, don't be afraid of anything, just go and explore, you'll meet people. Of course, I met my first family in the hospital, who were my colleagues, and then the next one is now just behind me. Yeah, so I have 2 families now in Wrexham, so I'm not afraid of anything.
Well, I've been here for 2 years, and I've been in the asylum case for 2 years, and I've been denied twice. I'm seeking asylum because of in my political opinion, because I'm against the regime in Nicaragua. You see, we were helping the students who were protesting peacefully by supplying medical items and food and this type of stuff. The government didn't like it, and they started to harass us and threaten us. It wasn't easy because we had to get the money to pay for the tickets and stuff. But we managed to do it, and we're safe here, you know, which is great. But still, 2 years in the process comes, you know, you feel a bit restrained. Obviously, you can't work, you can't study, so it's still a battle. I was walking here, I remember, coming down that hill there, and they were training here. I came to Sheep and I told them, oh, so you're training and stuff. Yeah, do you want to join us? Do you want to train with us? And I was like, what? Seriously? I'm just watching, okay. And we started playing, and it was nice because it was like my first, you know, like first link with the community. Right from the beginning, I had more friends. It wasn't only Sheep. It was the whole team, you know, all the teammates, asking me, "Oh, how are you doing? You know, do you want to go out or whatever?" Or, you know, now I have more friends, obviously, from the club, and it felt great. I felt great.
Bellevue opened the doors, and look at it. It has people from different parts of the globe. The beauty of this world is getting to interact with new people, learning new cultures and stuff, you know. So I believe just open the doors and welcome the people in.
Every club could do what we did. Every club could. The difference is whether clubs want to. If more grassroots clubs were picking up this slack and being that bit more inclusive, you know, we can create a better sport, because at the end of the day, football doesn't start and finish at elite level. It starts right here. This is where it starts, and this is what we need to invest in the most. I love what I do. I get to come down to this park 6 days a week and literally just play football with people that I've come to like love and admire, and I wish someone paid me, because then I could say I have the best job in the world. But it's pretty close to the best job in the world, even without the money, because money doesn't buy you the experiences I have down here. I literally live the dream every day. Unfortunately, it just gets a bit wet in the winter.
This is just beautiful. Thank you very much for bringing us into the storage rooms, Nick. So we can have a look at kind of the full breadth of what you've got here. We've been rummaging for a few shirts, haven't we? So what was the first classic that we pulled out?
Yep, so a real classic to begin with. So this is a John Charles shirt from 49-50 against Ireland. So perhaps Wales' most famous player, I think most would agree. So yeah, from the early part of his career. Yeah, a really fantastic example. Fortunately, a bit of fading on this shirt, but you can see the the proper red just through there.
Yeah, and the embroidery on the badge is just fantastic. And they would have had that for each game, would they?
Yeah, the shirt badge was often quite like a big cloth. Made a big thing of it. Yeah, in those kind of days. Yeah, would often have the date and the opponent on it as well. It's a really nice example.
And then underneath was another one with and this is another one of the famous Charles boys.
That's right. So John's brother Mel also played for Wales, and this is a fantastic shirt as well. So this is from the first ever Welsh World Cup match in 1958. So game against Hungary, finished 1-1, and Mel wore the shirt in that game.
So it's always black and white photographs, isn't it? So and black and white film. So you when you see the vividness of the yellow and the green, it sort of really brings it alive, I think. As we mentioned earlier, big plans afoot. It's a £2.5 million investment in, I believe.
Yeah, so a lot of money coming from the Welsh Government to support the project as well. So yeah, we've had football exhibitions before at Wrexham Museum, but we're obviously going to have more space available, so we'll be able to showcase a lot more objects for people to see, which is great news.
Man, you're going to be putting it together. Oh, I'm super jealous, Nick, listen, behind you before we finish, talk to us a little bit about this picture here.
Yeah, this picture is advertising a match between Ditker Ladies and St Helens in 1921. So Ditker were a women's team from a munitions factory in Preston, a very famous, successful team at the time. And unfortunately, this just took place before women's football was actually banned by the FAW because it had become really too popular and seen as a bit of a threat to men's football. Ban that was not lifted until the 1970s.
Well, I found incredible about this, that they're advertising at the bottom that they just played a game before 45,000 people at Everton on Boxing Day.
Yeah, that's right. So Boxing Day 1920, same two teams played at Everton. A fantastic crowd of I think it was over 50,000 actually in that match. Showed how popular it was at the time. But yeah, unfortunately, it was perhaps a reason why it ended up being banned, and women's football kind of suffered for a long time because of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, fascinating stuff. And thank you so much for showing us around. There's great plans afoot, and it's important for Wales to have this museum so that the whole nation can understand its football history.
Yeah, I really think so. I mean, England has its own in Manchester and Scotland as well, so I think it's really time for Wales to have their own museum and showcase fantastic football history in this nation.
And that's it. What a fantastic day I spent at Wrexham Museum. Thank you very much to Nick and all the staff there who accommodated us. I'm really looking forward to seeing how those plans develop over the next few years. And if you want to keep in touch with Wrexham Museum, their Twitter handle is at the bottom of the screen. But that's it from Wrexham, that's it from FC Cymru for the time being. We'll see you again soon. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us on our social media details. Those details are at the bottom of the screen. And we'll see you soon. Take care.